Hello, this is a showcase of the Viper Track of the Mamba Nightblade Perfect Agony variant made by jungroan last league. This is very slightly different from what he did. I'm gonna explain the differences in the description or maybe in a comment. Yeah, we can just go right into an ultimatum and then an Uber and the fortress map. You can do basically any modifier. You don't care about risk scarabs, you don't care about anything. Not that you would actually need risk scarabs, because this league is completely dead on loot, but just as an idea, you can do that. I didn't show the Atlas. This is Crawling Gauntlet. We also have Ruinous Wager, so it's basically the hardest possible version of Ultimatum that you can do. You don't need to read basically any modifier. For the cost of the build, I will mention it now and maybe in the description as well. This is not very easily league startable. Jung league started it last league, but he started with a Pekong version and then did a bunch of other stuff to get a lot of currency for this. I don't think most people can league start Mamba, at least this setup of Mamba. You'd be too squishy at the beginning. So yeah, keep that in mind. The current version that you're looking at right now is around 1 meter, a bit over 1 meter, maybe 500 divines. I didn't actually check mirror prices today. So yeah, keep that in mind. Most of the cost is going to the Mage Blood and the voices. As you can see, even if I'm using that node on the Atlas, I'm still have no stacks of Ruin on me. I'm very rarely getting hit. Yep, and this will be the 13th wave. Dog shit loot, but it's okay. As you can see, compared to like older versions of Mamba, you also have a shit ton of range, so this actually feels and plays really nicely. This is not actually something that you see in PoE much, but it will change the way the build feels. If you want more damage and you really don't care about this extra range and extra targets, you can simply just change Greater Ancestral Call with Cruelty. I'm anointing Sion's Ambition, but you can also do something else with extra damage over time, like Acrimony I think is one of them. Okay, now let's quickly do a Fortress map. So, yeah, there we go. I'm still not gonna use Cruelty for the map boss. Just so you know, it's gonna be like slightly faster if you're using Cruelty. You're gonna have, I think, 20% or something more damage. Oh, there we go. We use spell items for Wither. It's also possessed. Yep, and it's dead. Okay, so this was possessed. Lady chill. Nice. Just as an extra challenge, I can also try to do the ultimatum here. So let me find it in the Nightmare Map. There we go. It's survival duration. This one's usually easy, you can just run around. Sadly, it's a bit longer, like... You really don't care about the difficulty that much, you care about speed when farming Ultimatum with this build after a certain point, after a certain investment level. So yeah, survival duration is a bit slower than Attacker's Lane or Monster's Lane, but it's fine. So we got the Ruin modifier as well. Actually, we have 3, Stalking Ruin 3, combined with the one on the tree. And we are still not really getting any Ruin stacks. We got one. And I'm not even level 100 yet, so just keep that in mind. If you are actually level 100, you will have much more energy shields. I'll show you in a second why. Four stacks. But it's still kinda chill. Again, if this would have been Attacker's Lane or Monster's Lane, it would have been a bit easier to keep the Ruin stacks low as well. Because they finished each round much faster, but it's still fine. I think we can reach 13. Literally none of the other modifiers matter. I've never lost an ultimatum with this build in this state from actually dying. It's always just ruin, and it's always if I have stone circles or some bullshit like that. See, 2 extra modifiers, we don't care. It's fine. Five stacks. But we're fine. Nice. Okay, let's now quickly do an Uber. I picked Incarnation of Loneliness. It's simply because the fragment is cheap. That's all I care about, really. So again, with Cruelty, this will be a bit more damage, but for quality of life, I always just play Greater Ancestral Call.
But later never came. Irrevocable thoughts. Patience is a mercy. Intolerance. You cannot hide from fate. Erase. I am not the end. Providence. Patience is a mercy. I am not end.
There we go. It's a bit awkward because when he reaches 50% HP and is no longer on low life, we have much less crit chance against him. So, a solution to that can be to instead of using Forgotten Flesh and Flame for Escape Artist, you can instead use it to get the other version of this, which is called For the Juggler, I think. Or reverse. Just use For the Juggler and anoint Knife in the back with the 2 jewels. That depends on which one is cheaper at the time. In that case, you will permanently get both of these because they are you get both modifiers essentially all the time. So yeah, that's gonna be an easy and not that expensive way of fixing the actual crit chance when they are lower HP. Yeah, so this is the build. It's in single target since we don't even use the what's called the mark of penance. We don't even use that for the extra targets to bind them into the boss anymore, and it's still decent damage. Like that's fine. The AoE is fucking incredible. Like Binos is just the most satisfying AoE you can possibly get in the game, I think. Defense is, I mean, you saw the ultimatum and the ultimatum inside the fortress. That's what better proof you can have of that. Yeah, that's my version of the build. Again, this is 99% what Junk did. I just changed a bit the flask setup and some jewels. His is probably slightly tankier. Mine is deals a bit more damage thanks to malevolence and ambush. Yeah, so what I wanted to show you is that at level 100, you'll also be slightly tankier because you don't need. So let's say I take these points from here, and you get this, and 100% from equipped helmet. That instantly gets me to almost 10k. So that's 1,000 and something extra ES, just from the extra 3 levels. Personally, I don't feel the need for that that extra ES right now. So essentially, I just use the points here to guarantee I also hit evasive monsters. But if that's something you care about, sure, that's totally fine. Yeah. Let me take those out. There are many different setups you can do with the points. Like, they don't change a lot, don't get me wrong. 99% of what you're gonna see here is the same in all of the versions of this build that you can see in PoE Ninja. But some people don't need the extra accuracy here. Some people use different jewel setups, different tattoos and stuff. Personally, I didn't want to have an extra suffix for extra elemental resistances for the Mage Blood, so instead I anoint a bunch of resistances here, and that way I'm also able to be Curse immune, Elemental Ailment immune from Storm Shroud, and I'm also stun immune, so that's why I do that. And the 50% of damage taken from his Leech's life is actually really fucking useful, so I really recommend you to use that. Yeah, so this is the setup. It can do any content in the game, honestly. Even Expedition, I did Expedition with this last league, when I was copying exactly Junk's setup. Yeah, I honestly don't know any mechanic in the game that this build cannot do, except, I don't know, maybe... No, even those. I was thinking of Giga Juiced Blight. Not that anybody does this right now, because it doesn't give you any loot, but I think it can honestly handle that as well. Yeah, and this, keep in mind, it's with like a dogshit brutal restraint. I don't even have the... I only have one of these. You should have 3 of the poison deal damage 10% faster, by the way. Yeah, that's the build. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about the build, let me know in the comments. I think most questions about Mamba are, why do I sometimes don't deal damage? Why do I feel like I sometimes poison them? Stuff like that. Those questions are answered by one of these. You have perfect Agony but not enough crit chance. you have enough creatures but not enough chance to hit in the first place, or you have something else applying poison to the enemies, and Viper Strike cannot poison once a target is already poisoned. So for that, you make sure that everything else that can deal damage in your build, like Frostblink or Whirlwind Blades, is linked to Brutality, because Brutality makes it not deal any chaos damage, and in theory physical damage can also poison, but it will apply a poison that will not be able to deal any chaos damage because of Brutality, so that poison is coded in the game as not existing on the enemy, and that's why Brutality instantly solos this. So yeah, make sure everything that deals damage that is not Viper Strike of the Mamba is linked to Brutality in your build, no matter what setup you do. Yeah, so thank you guys very much for watching. This is the build. Again, ask any questions you might have in the comments. I hope this small bit at the end answered most of them, but if not, sure. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the build. If you have the currency to make it, because again, this is not a cheap build, I think you will really enjoy it. It's very fast, very snappy, pretty tanky, can clear anything in the game. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.